Hey now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FAFO Day here on the line and all across the country on this January 7th. I kept watching the video. She tried to run over an ICE officer. She got popped for it. I hate it. I hate any loss of life. But in any other scenario, whether it was me or Carrie or you, I don't care if it's an ICE agent or a county cop. That's the same result. Same thing's going to happen. And for Jacob Fry to go up to that press conference and act with this supposed righteous indignation and get everybody riled up, convincing unhinged individuals to take to the streets, but then on the backside being like, we're going to respond with love. We're going to respond with peace. Just so he can cover his own ass and be like, well, I called for peace. Nah, he don't want peace. He wants George Floyd riots 2.0. He wants BLM 2.0. That's what he wants. He wants his city burnt to the ground again. These people are ridiculous.
You think we can give Minnesota to Canada?
Yeah, let's trade. What's the province from Canada we're trying to get? Is it which one was it? I can't even remember
I don't
now.
remember either.
Quebec? Is it Quebec?
I think it's the French-speaking part of Canada. I think.
Can we trade Quebec for Minnesota? I mean, it's a pretty easy swap.
I mean, I would even give them some money on top of that.
Yeah,
To take Minnesota.
some money and some Somalis.
Eh?
We give them some money and Somalis.
Yeah, that's all they need.
That's all you need, cuzzy. That's crazy, man. Crazy story coming out of Minneapolis today. There's a lot of crazy stuff coming out of Minneapolis, including a hearing on Capitol Hill, which has gotten very fiery on the topic of Minnesota fraud. So we're moving at breakneck speed today. First, Underdog Fantasy. That's right. UnderdogFantasy.com and the Underdog Fantasy app. My favorite app in the whole wide world. And everybody knows because why? Because I'm winning money. Money. I make my picks. I submit them. I get my entries right. And I win real money. And I can play with as little as $1 if I want to. But you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. What you do is pick your favorite players or your not so favorite players. Decide if they're going to go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, whatever it is. Get your entries right. Bada bing, bada boom. You win money. It's really that easy. All you have to do is download the app and use my promo code HeyNow, all one word. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code HeyNow to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code HeyNow. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. And we can see there on the scene in Minneapolis, the crowd is growing. More and more people are showing up. And everybody's on edge. Everybody's on edge. So we're gonna see how that plays out throughout the afternoon. I do want to go back to two topics we've been talking about and tie them together, and that is the topic of Minnesota fraud and January 6th. And you may say to yourself, how do you tie those two in together? Well, let me show you. So the Minnesota fraud is about what? What's the one thing that kicked off the Minnesota fraud? It's got several aspects to it, but the big one that really got this conversation started was the Somali daycares, right? These daycares all over Minneapolis, all over Minnesota that didn't seem to have any kids ever showing up at the daycare, but were somehow able to receive taxpayer funding. And nobody could really make sense of it. And they're like, well, what's going on here? So we'll go ask questions. Will they go ask questions? A couple Somalis meet you at the door, and they're like, can you ask questions? You targeting Somali community. And then once investigators started digging, then all of a sudden, in one Somali daycare, somebody broke in the night before and stole all their paperwork, stole their client list to show that they, in fact, had kids, stole their financial records, stole their checkbooks, all the things that you would need to have in order to see whether or not that is a fraudulent daycare. So all that, you know all that already. That's out there. But we're finding out that it's a bigger problem and maybe a more profitable problem than we ever understood. It's cliche to say now because everybody said it at this point, but, the meme of a guy driving to work and he's got tears in his eyes and it says me driving to work when all I had to do was just open up a daycare in Minnesota and I never had to work another day in my life. You seen that meme? Well, it's more widespread than the Somali community, and it's more widespread than Minnesota because now we are finding out that Lieutenant Michael Byrd, who is the officer that wrongfully shot Ashley Babbitt on January 6th, operates his own taxpayer-funded home daycare. That's right. Lieutenant and murderer Michael Byrd has his own taxpayer-funded home daycare that runs out of his house in Maryland. And by the way, $190 million in federal child care funds flow from you, the taxpayer, into Maryland. It's called Byrd's Family Daycare. And it's literally his house. He claims, and his wife claims, to run a daycare, a taxpayer-funded daycare, out of his home. This Capitol police officer, who now has like a Medal of Freedom and his own, they'll have a statue of him soon or whatever they're going to do, because he was so brave. He saved so many lives, saving them from 140-pound Ashley Babbitt. 140-pound unarmed Ashley Babbitt was coming to get him. This is crazy. Can you imagine? Now, remember that Officer Byrd, who was cleared of any wrongdoing with Ashley Babbitt fraudulently, had several complaints against him previously. At one point, he left his Glock 22 service weapon in a visitor center bathroom in 2019. He even had his police powers revoked on several occasions, failing to meet semi-annual firearms qualification standards. Most of his disciplinary action has come as a result of his mishandling of firearms. And so a guy like that, with that track record, shoots and kills somebody and he gets a Medal of Freedom? Come on. That's crazy. So anyway, yesterday, a couple days ago, investigative journalist Paul Sperry discovered and posted that former Lieutenant, now Captain Michael Byrd's been promoted, and his wife, Kaleska Byrd, have operated a home-based daycare called Byrd's Family Daycare from their house, from their residence in Brandywine, Maryland since 2008, nearly 17 years. Public records and listings on sites like Care Lulu confirmed the existence of this licensed family child care provider operating under Kaleska Byrd's name and located in Maryland year-round. The daycare is registered and licensed by the Maryland State Department of Education's Office of Child Care, meeting the basic state requirements for operation. However, it doesn't appear on Maryland's list of accredited family child care providers, like those meeting higher standards from organizations that are like, whatever. So Lieutenant or Captain Michael Byrd, that shot and killed Ashley Babbitt, is also seemingly in on the daycare fraud gimmick. How about that? But the good news is he's not in Minnesota, so They got a lot of stuff going on in Minnesota. And to take action against this fraud, Dr. Oz has actually ordered a full-scale federal audit of Minnesota's Medicaid under Tim Walz to see where a lot of this money's going. They say fraud will be clawed back and withheld from future funding for the state of Minnesota. That also resulted in DHS launching a door-to-door audit of Somali-linked daycares in Minneapolis. All of this going on at the same time, by the way. This is part of the stuff that Tim Walz was complaining about when he was announcing he would resign. And just to top it all off, so after the capture of Maduro, do y'all remember Monday? We started the show, and they were all meeting at the UN. Meeting at the UN, UN Ambassador Mike Waltz was speaking and basically telling the rest of the UN to F off. Like, we did what we did, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. And then he was chastised by the president, which is it's a rotating chair at the UN. Like I don't know how often, every 6 months or every year, they put a new UN representative in the president's chair. The president of the UN at this time is from, guess where? You want to guess?
Man, Minnesota.
Somalia, which is the same thing. Same thing. He is the UN representative from Somalia. That's right. He's the president. And he's very upset about the capture of Maduro and what's going on in Venezuela. But just to tie it all back together, because everything seems to be in just one big pile over this past news cycle, HHS is now claiming that this UN ambassador has ties to Ohio health agencies convicted of Medicaid fraud, and that this guy himself is involved in the state of Ohio with the Medicaid fraud, which is some of the issues going on in Minnesota and Minneapolis as well. So what is it? I mean, we're trying to not profile here because this is what Democrats are doing. They're saying, oh, you're just going after the Somali community. But every time we see something, it's members of the Somali community that are committing this fraud, whether it's child services or Medicare or Medicaid or whatever. Why? I mean, you got to ask that question. It's the same thing we would do when we keep having transgender shooters. We got to say, what's going on in the trans community? What's going on in the Somali community? That's a fair question. If one after another, they announced earlier this morning that they had arrested and convicted 98 individuals in Minneapolis on these fraud charges. How many of them were of Somali descent? How many of them were Somali immigrants? 85 of the 98. So if you do the math, you got to say to yourself, what's going on with the Somalis? What's going on? Is it just hey, this is what we do? Or are things going on in Somalia where they're like, hey, let's immigrate to the U.S. and commit massive welfare fraud? They're going to let us do it? What is it? Is it a result of our wide open borders over the past 4 years? If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck and it's quacking like a duck and it's probably a duck. It's probably a Somalian duck is what you have here. 545-9950. Back after this. All right, 205-545-9950. Ernest Financial bringing you this part of the show. RetireWithErnest.com. RetireWithErnest.com. David Ernest and his team been doing this over, how long have they been doing it? Over 40 years, maybe 45 years? Is that right? That's a long time, cuzzy. Been doing it a very, very long time. And they've been getting people's retirement secure, making sure that it's there for when they decide they're ready to retire, and make sure it grows for you. It's about protection. And it doesn't cost you anything. They don't get fees from you. They get them elsewhere. They just worry about your money and your money staying in place, so when retirement comes, you can do the things that you and your spouse and your kids and your grandkids always wanted to do. Who would not want that security? I sure would want that security. I think you would want that security as well. If you got any questions about it, all you got to do is call them. If you're 55 or older and you got over 50K in your retirement, you are a prime candidate for calling. But call anyway, even if you're 50 or whatever. Just call them and talk to them about what they do. Make sure you mention that I sent you and hear them out. Have a conversation with them. You will thank yourself for doing that. So here's the number, 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-7233. And online, retirewithernest.com. And one more time, Noto Roofing, Noto Roofing.com, Noto Roofing.com. Roofing company that's the best of the best, and there's a million of them out there. You got plenty of choices. You can flip through a phone book. You can wait for somebody to knock on your door. You can see a lawn sign. You can do any of this stuff, or you can take yours truly's advice and go with my roofing company that does a phenomenal job. And there's no better testimony than to actually use these individuals these companies that I always tell you about. And I do. I use them all. Noto is no exception. Best of the best. Do great work. Take care of their people. They take care of the Hey Now Nation. So get a free roof inspection. No strings attached. Just free roof inspection. Complimentary roof tune-up when you call them and mention me. 205-848-2299. It's 205-848-2299 and online, notoroofing.com. Wheel of segments coming up next. Don't you go anywhere. You gotta admit, I'm doing pretty good with the air drums.
I mean, for air drums, you're doing really well. I mean, you're killing it.
Killing it, man. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I have so much to get to, man, that I didn't even remotely get to today. Too much breaking news. Too much breaking news, but that's all right. That's just more for tomorrow, right? This is Mo for tomorrow. Mandu bringing you this part of the show. Mandu.com, MANDUU.com. I got my Mandu workout in Monday, and let me tell you, I am so friggin' sore from Mandu. This is, I was sore yesterday, but when I woke up this morning, I was like, I don't even know if I can get out of bed. Like, that's how sore I am. That's the kind of workout that I got on Monday. And I'm going back today. I'm doing another workout today. And what I do know is when I really push myself and I get a good workout in, the next time I go and that following workout, by the time I leave there, I'm not sore anymore. It's like I worked the soreness out because my muscles are like, all right, we're back in action. Let's get it. Let's get it. I've seen some amazing transformations, not just with myself, but with people at Mandu that I see up there on a regular basis. And I want that for you. I want that for you guys because I can tell you, until the cows come home that Mandu works, but you're not going to know until you experience it yourself. They're waiting on you. They're willing to give you their product for free. They're willing to let you try it so you know that it's the real deal before you sign up. And so that's what I encourage you to do. If you got a company that's willing to give out free samples like that, you know they got to be good at what they do, because if they weren't good at what they do, they wouldn't give you free samples. They don't want you to know that they're not good at what they do. Mandu's absolutely different. It is innovative. It uses technology to get you the best workout that you could get, unlike anything you could do in the gym. This is 15 minutes of full body workout with a personal trainer. Just nothing else like it. You can't beat it. They're right there in Homewood. I'd love to see you up there. Maybe I'll be working out with you one day. You never know. You just got to call them and set up that free appointment. 205-438-6003. That's 205-438-6003. You can also set up your free session at mandu.com, MANDUU.com. Just make sure you tell them I sent you. Also, for those of you in North Alabama, Huntsville Mandu's there for you. 256-808-0104. 256-808-0104. And I've been promising y'all a Tuscaloosa Mandu as well. That is coming in mere weeks. As soon as it's open, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you all about it. Yeah. Because we got a lot of Tuscaloosa people in here up in this audience. All right. So, without further ado, Kerry, it is time to present to everyone today's edition of the Wheel of Segments.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Uh-oh. Did I lose my... Oh, there we go. Found it. I lost my pen. My lucky pen. Can't do a Wheel of Segments without it. All right, Carrie, you ready? What is this?
Let's do it.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Up first, headline reads, couple wanted on $450,000 in warrants out of L.A. and Ventura counties, and were eventually arrested in O.C. What is O.C.? The O.C. in California.
Oceanside.
That's not Oceanside. Orange County, I bet, is what it is.
Yeah.
Orange County. A man and woman who combined were wanted on $450,000 worth of law enforcement warrants were arrested after burglarizing a Sephora in Irvine over the weekend. Officers assigned to the Irvine Police Department's Spectrum Division were notified on the afternoon of January 2nd by Sephora loss prevention officials that a duo was roaming the store and casually slipping products into their clothing. Sephora is just a makeup place, isn't it?
That's a lot of makeup. $450,000.
Surveillance footage of the incident posted to the Irvine Police Department's Instagram account shows the male and female suspects standing in front of shelves filled with merchandise. In one instance, the male is seen pulling an item off the shelf and placing it inside in the inside pocket of his coat. In another, he selects a different piece of merchandise and turns as if to walk off while putting it into the outside pocket of his jacket. The footage shows officers intercepting the couple in the parking lot before they could blend in with foot traffic at the sprawling shopping complex and make it to their car. After detaining and searching the suspects, now identified as 23-year-old Ibrahim Gonzalez Silva and 45-year-old Kale Yuli Valavicencio, CO. Both residents of Santa Clarita. Officers recovered around $1,700 worth of merchandise, both on their persons and in their vehicle, along with evidence of theft from a different Sephora location. So they're just going all out on Sephora. Both suspects were taken into custody and booked for organized retail theft and conspiracy. Investigators later learned that Silva and Valavicencio had hundreds of thousands of dollars in warrants out of Los Angeles and Ventura counties for burglary, conspiracy, and grand theft. That's the beauty of living in California, is if you got warrants, they probably ain't going to come after you because they like criminals. Democrats love criminals. Just as in this case, you had a criminal that almost ran over an ICE agent. And who are they siding with? They're siding with the criminal. They always do that. All right, continuing on. What is next? Headline. You'll like this one, Carrie. Man sues restaurant after their promotional TikTok video exposes his secret affair. So he's at a restaurant with a side chick. Well, they go in and shoot a promotional video and post it. And it shows him with a side chick.
You think Coldplay was playing in the background too?
Yeah, probably. An Italian man is taking legal action against a restaurant after a TikTok video unexpectedly revealed his alleged extramarital affair and helped end his marriage. The 42-year-old from Catania has filed a lawsuit claiming his privacy was violated when the eatery posted footage of him dining with another woman as part of a social media promotion. According to reports, the man told his wife he would be out for a routine business dinner. Instead, he spent the evening at the restaurant on a date with a secret lover.
Could he not just say that was his business dinner?
Yeah, wouldn't you just say that? Be like, it's a business. It's the business partner. The encounter was captured on camera by staff creating marketing content for the venue. The clip was later uploaded to TikTok without the customer's knowledge or consent. The man's wife saw the viral video soon after it went live. She quickly announced she planned to leave him, ending their marriage, and reportedly kicked him out of the house. Now, Italian consumer rights group Codacons says it is seeking damages on his behalf. Francisco Tanasi, a representative for the organization, argued the restaurant acted unlawfully by filming patrons and sharing the material online. They said in certain cases, the publication of a video can have very serious effects on a person's private life and family life.
Yeah, if you're cheating on your wife, I imagine it could, yeah.
He went on to warn that restaurants must obtain explicit permission before using customers in any kind of promotional material. They said it's inadmissible that a restaurant films its customers without clear consent and posts the video, exposing the person to unpredictable consequences. Well, I don't know that that was unpredictable. I mean, you're cheating on your wife. It's pretty predictable that a divorce is coming.
Yeah. She's probably taking all his money, and he needs some money, so he's going to sue them. That's right.
Catacombs has also threatened to escalate the case to Italy's national privacy watchdog. The group claims the man never agreed to appear on camera and had no idea he was being recorded. If the complaint is upheld, the restaurant could face additional penalties under Italian data protection laws. This isn't the first affair uncovered by TikTok, as the platform has developed a reputation as an accidental detective agency for relationships. Most notably, last year, then astronomer CEO Andy Byron made headlines after getting caught holding on to a woman who wasn't his wife at a Coldplay concert. How about that? Weeks later, Byron and his wife filed for divorce. In 2024, two women went viral after discovering they had been dating the same man. They ended their romances when TikTok posts exposed the overlap. Years earlier, a bartender racked up millions of views by explaining how she inadvertently told a customer's wife about his secret night out. That's the thing, man. I mean, you know, if you're a cheater, like, it's got to be impossible to get away with it in 2026. You know, maybe in the 1990s it was a little easier. Maybe in the early 2000s it was a little easier. But in this day and age, I mean, there's pages out there. There's groups called, like, "Are we dating the same guy?" And people just go and post, you know, guys they're dating on this page just to see if there's any other girls out there dating him, or vice versa. Like, it's just, you know, just don't do it. Like, it's not worth it. If you want to hook up with somebody else, well, leave who you're with. It's pretty simple. You know, what's the big deal? If you don't like who you're with,
Or at least don't go to a restaurant with a lot of people.
it's just crazy. It's too many cameras out there, man. You gonna get caught. If that's you, you're gonna get caught. So
That's
save
what it
yourself a
is.
lot of trouble and go ahead and end your current relationship. All right, so there's that. Still large crowds out in Minneapolis right now at the scene of the shooting. The crowd seems to be getting bigger and bigger. But no violence from this crowd as of yet, although there was violence this morning as people were around the scene of the shooting before the shooting happened. There were people fighting with ICE officers. It's what Minneapolis, it's what Jacob Fry and what these people promote. They want them fighting with ICE officers. It's ridiculous. All right, moving on. Last but not least, headline: Man watches ex give birth, then allegedly drives off in her car from hospital.
I mean,
What a headline. A Kentucky man is facing felony charges after police say he attended the birth of his child and then allegedly fled the hospital parking lot in the baby's mother's car, leaving her stranded just hours after the delivery.
was she going home after the delivery?
Yeah, where are you
I
going?
mean, he went home to get a shower. He's coming back.
Christopher Mollett, 37, of Tomahawk, Kentucky, was arrested Saturday night following an investigation into the reported theft at Pikeville Medical Center. Police say Mollett went to the hospital to witness the birth, but was not permitted inside due to visitation policies. The child's mother, identified by officers as his ex-girlfriend, repeatedly allowed him to sit in her vehicle to stay warm while she remained inside the hospital. After the birth, Mollett allegedly returned to the car while the mother stayed behind at the medical center. When staff later expected him to come back inside, he was nowhere to be found. The woman soon discovered her vehicle was missing and contacted police. Investigators reviewed hospital security footage, which allegedly showed Mollett initially entering the passenger side of the car. He was then seen exiting the vehicle, moving into the driver's seat, and driving away from the hospital. The mother told officers she attempted to contact Mollett by phone. He allegedly answered, but told her it was none of her business where the vehicle was before hanging up on her.
Jeez.
So he was sitting in the passenger seat trying to stay warm. And so as he sat there, he thought to himself, man, just drive off this
She's not
bitch.
going to need this car.
She gonna need this car.
She won't miss it.
Authorities later located Mollett in Paintsville, roughly 45 minutes from Pikeville Medical Center, where he was taken into custody without incident. Police say he was driving the woman's car at the time of his arrest. Of course he was. Mollett has been charged with auto theft and receiving stolen property. He was being held Monday at the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on a $10,000 bond for each charge. Court records and reporting by the Mountain Citizen indicate Millette has a prior arrest history that includes possession of methamphetamine, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, traffic-related offenses, and failure to appear in court. The case remains under investigation, and no court date has yet been announced. Boy, it sounds like that baby mama picked a real winner, huh? A real winner. Good for her. And who invited him to the hospital? He is hurt. I blame her for inviting him to the hospital. That's messed up. You know? Don't invite that kind of baby daddy to the hospital. That dude ain't nothing but trouble. If you want to have the baby, but I'd go ahead and ask for it because I guarantee you that he doesn't really want any paternal rights anyway.
Well, if he did, he doesn't now, probably.
Nope.
I mean,
What a loser.
have you met? Who's my dad? Well, he was here, but I got him arrested and he ain't been back.
And that's what we call Love is in the Air. I should have used my drumsticks for this one. It's the freaking drum solo.
I don't think you're that advanced yet with the air drums. A couple more
Probably
days
not.
of practice.
Probably not. All right. Underdog Fantasy and UnderdogFantasy.com. One more time for you. Download the Underdog Fantasy app and use my promo code HeyNow, HeyNowo, one word. Hook it up, man. This is the week to do it. You got big games this weekend. You got big game tomorrow. You got a big game Friday. You got NFL. You got plenty of chances to win money. Just pick your players. Decide if they're going to go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, touchdowns, passing yards, whatever you want to choose is completely up to you. Get your interest right, and you can win real money, up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code HeyNow to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's the promo code HeyNow. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS _.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Alabama Professional Services, APS. Alabama Professional. Let's just concentrate on one thing today. Pest control. You all need it. Everybody needs pest control. If you live in a house, you have a rental, have a business, you need pest control done. And that usually involves somebody coming by every 3 months, every quarter, and spraying for bugs and handling any other issues that you may have. You may have a pest removal situation. Maybe you got squirrels in your attic, or you got raccoons in your house, or snakes, or you got a beehive in your wall. Could be a lot of things. APS does all of that. They handle all your pest issues. And so what I need you to do is reach out to them and go ahead and set up a time for them to come over. If you're just doing standard maintenance, standard bug spraying, they will contact you after 3 months and say, hey, it's time for your maintenance. Would you like us to come out? And if so, what's a good day for you? What's a good time? And they work with your schedule. That's what I love about them. They've been in business so long, and the reason is because they treat people right. There's just no doubt about it. I've been teamed up with them for a long time. I've been using them for a long time. I'm a big believer in APS. You see them all over. You see their trucks all over. You see them at the home shows. Like, they're out there, man. They're getting after it. Love, love, love some APS. Here's the phone number. Just make sure you mention Andrew McClain. 205-951-9717. 205-951-9717. Online, alabamaprofessional.com. Update from earlier in the show. I told you about a shooting out in Blount County where police responded to a 2-year-old being shot. We now know, according to authorities, that 2-year-old boy has died following that shooting at a residence in Hayden. According to law enforcement, deputies and officers with the Hayden Police Department were called to the home at 10 a.m. after reports of a child being shot. When they arrived, the child was found with a gunshot wound to the head. He was transported to Children's, where he later died from his injuries. Investigators say preliminary information indicates the child located the firearm inside the home, and the shooting appears to have been accidental, but the investigation remains ongoing. And that is a big reminder for all of us that have children, really of any age, that those of us that have firearms in the home, make sure they are always secure. Make sure they are out of the reach of children, and that there's just no way kids can get their hands on it. Real quick, Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren speaking. Let's see if they're speaking about Minnesota real quick. See what they're saying.
Themselves than having people from the outside come in.
What's your message for the protesters down there? Should they remain civil?
Well, of course, there should never be violence, but there should be. Protest is an American right, and when things like this happen, people feel the need to protest, and they're right to do it. We salute them doing it.
What do you think of Trump's calling on Congress to codify a ban on the large investors buying the single-family homes? I mean, you talked a little bit about this, but
yeah, I put out a statement on this, which we'll get to you.
no.
We had 49 Democrats. 47.
But it's going to be
wishful
higher.
days, yeah. We had 47 Democrats vote for a proposal that would do just what Trump said. Where are our Senate Republicans?
Right. And keep in mind,
Chuck Schumer.
What
there,
a team. Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren. Wouldn't you love to be at a party with those two individuals? What a time that would be. So anyway, they're going to continue to encourage people to take to the streets and cause issues over this ICE-related shooting where a woman tried to run over an ICE agent. There's nothing you can do to change that. Again, a full day of FAFOs. Alabama Men's Clinic, alabamamensclinic.com. Man, do these guys do a good job. It's for you guys. If you got low T or you think you might have low T, hair loss, weight gain, no energy, you can't get it up in the bedroom. All of these are signs of low T that you don't have to live with. You can get them fixed if you'll just reach out and set an appointment or go online and set an appointment. I promise you this can change your life. This can make you feel years younger. This can get you your life back. You just call them at 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000 and online, alabamamensclinic.com. Absolute pros at Alabama Men's Clinic. When you talk to them, make sure you tell them Andrew McClain sent you. I'm out of here. Leland Live up next. And until next time, see you, cut!